What's up guys, I'm Frenzy, welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to jump into Scout, Castle level 17. Jump into it on my knight. I had it marked down as a challenge, but I'm not sure what happened. Maybe the challenge wasn't long enough or something like that. So I'm going to have to jump into it normally. Luckily you're only 2 levels lower than me, so it shouldn't be that big of a skill difference between ourselves. Alright, so you have a double pull through the wall here, and you have a Defendatron with it. I like this. I think this is fine. It's a good time waster, and Scorpios by themselves are really good anyway. So, and then you have another time waster here. So I'm kind of seeing that you're going for that more time wasting castle, which I think is good. I think it's fine. I mean, it's not technically the way I play, but now that I understand that, you know, I'll be looking more towards that style of castle to be helping you and giving you advice and things like that. The only thing that I would say is that you have a situation where, like, I don't know what's coming in the next room, which is the only good part about this. If this is another, like, Robo Shieldatron, I would say something like... No, it's a Scorpio. So I think this one's fine, but the one previous, if I were to pull the Scorpio and the Robo Shieldatron, it wouldn't really complement the Scorpio all that much. And if I went through this castle again, because I was not able to hit the time limit, that's what I would do, because it doesn't complement it, you know? I pull the Scorpio and he's starting to walk around. I could just save time by aggroing both groups and dealing with it, you know, as one big whole, because Robo Shieldatrons are literally nothing to fear. They're just really tanky. Alright, so I like this. It looks like it's set up reasonably well, although I would want, like, if you could somehow do it, get this guy more in line with it. Because I guarantee you that this guy right here, I'm pretty sure I can survive through this, and this guy right here won't hit any of his bubbles that he pops out. So I'm gonna try this and see if I die. So he hit, like, you know, you can see that 3 of his bubbles didn't hit me, yet the other ones, almost all of them hit me. So if there's a way that you could possibly line that up a bit better, you'd be doing a lot more damage there. And this is just because I'm one level, like these are level 16, so that's about the farthest away for creatures that you'll have. You'll have 16 and 18s in here. 16 is on the low side for my hero, so you didn't do as much damage to me as you could have. Although it is going to force another potion out of me, but I just wanted to test it. Looks like I did pull 2 groups. Let's see exactly what this is. So we have... I'm a little confused about your second group. I'm not sure exactly what was in it. It looks like maybe a Cyclops on charge, which I'm a little confused about because you have a Hungerbot as well. I guess it's kind of just a time waster, but... I mean, I like the healer with all of this. I like the what do you call it? Clone Puppeteer. But I'm a little confused by the Hungerbot and Cyclops. I feel like they work against each other. You know, one's pulling them in, one pushing it away. I guess it's just to be annoying while you're trying to waste time. But that group might be a problem. It's something you'll have to watch in your replays, I suppose. Because it's not something I've really used. I used a Hungerbot plus Smash Cyclopses, and I like those a lot better. Unfortunately, my hook is not nearly as long as Scorpio's. Alright. Okay, fake, but that's not a fake, and I'm gonna get pulled. This one's much better. Yeah, I think you had him turned all the way around, so I guess that's the maximum amount you're gonna be able to hit with. It did lower me very far down on hit points, being that it's, you know, 3 levels under me. If these guys were level 20, then I would most certainly have died, I'm sure, to those Stairmasters. So, yeah, I mean, something to keep in mind. As you level up these Stairmasters, they do just more and more damage, so... Something that you can do if you feel like these 3 Stairmasters are not killing heroes and you don't want to raise the level of your castle, you can just replace your Hungerbot with another Stairmaster, and then they'll all hit as soon as I'm, like, laying on the ground. They'll all hit me, so... that's an alternative that you could do. Because technically having a Hungerbot reduces their DPS in that circumstance where I get thrown from a springboard trap. However, the one good thing about it is you have a secondary option of, like, hitting. You have that possible factor where I don't get pulled by the springboard trap group, but I do get pulled by the Hungerbots. It won't happen often, but even if it's 1 in 50, it's still an extra chance, right? So it's kind of a risk-reward thing that you have to figure out for yourself that you want. Alright, for some reason I thought that was the way to go, but that was actually the boss room. I don't know why I was thinking that this wasn't the boss room. But anyway, yeah, it's a pretty good castle overall. I didn't have all that many tips for you, just a couple of those groups you might want to rethink a little bit, and like, you have 2 springboard trap combos along with just straight time-wasting groups pretty much in between them. That might be a little bit... I don't know, it's an interesting idea. I've never went like full defense on one group and then full offense on another. Like I usually blend out my castle where I use groups that if like pulled together, they have the chance of killing a hero, but they're also tanky. But I mean, the idea behind a straight time-wasting group and then a straight offense like Killzone group seems reasonable. So I mean, if it's working for you, I would think that that's fine. And if you think that it's not working, you want to try something like I do with like Scorpios and Megamuttons in between the kill zones, that might work as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll jump on to number 2 in just a second. Alright, and for number 2 we have ITE 123. Let's jump into his castle here. Alright, so far your castle starts to go on the upwards side. Not going to be as big of a deal after the patch goes through. So I'm not going to really harp on positioning of people's stuff anymore. Basically, we have 2 weeks that this is going to be an issue, and then afterwards it's not going to matter at all. I like this actually a lot. If you guys didn't notice what happened, he has an unaggroed Defendatron over there that was actually guarding his puppeteer, because I don't know if that's intended or how it's like, you know, supposed to be working or whatever, but basically the 2 crabs passed in front first. They got out of range of the Defendatron, and the puppeteers came in, and as I was damaging these guys, he stood within range of the Defendatron's armor zone, bodyguard zone, and he was able to stay protected, and I had to pull back even farther than I would have normally. So that's a good way of doing that. I haven't really seen that used all that much. I feel like it probably will happen more often later on, as people discover it, I guess, more and more. It'll probably get fixed. It's probably, you know, going to be viewed as an exploit like pretty much everything is. I mean, that one is probably a little more on the exploity side, I would say. Alright, so let's see what you got here. Alright, so this is probably a pull through the wall. I'm pretty much certain of that. The only problem I see... Well, maybe it's not a problem. Hold on. Let me take a look. Okay, yeah. So this Defendatron gets here way too late. You noticed that, right? I have a long pull like this with a Jimbo and a Defendatron as well. You need to start the Defendatron like as close as possible to the hero, and you need to start the Jimbo as far back as possible. So in this case, you'd want to have the Jimbo over on this side of the wall, facing towards the wall, and have the Defendatron, you know, as far down towards where the hero, where he's going to have to walk around for, so that he stays within that defend zone. Alright, now when I do wait around for this, a lot of the time, you're gonna see heroes, because of where this trap is positioned, I don't get hit in this corner. So they're gonna hug this corner wall for 2 reasons. Let me get rid of that. For 2 reasons. One is that they want to see what's coming around the bend. So in this case, if I hug this wall, I can see the Jimbo and Defendatron coming around here. And for the second, I don't get hit by the trap here. So a lot of people are gonna hug this corner right here, waiting around for this pull to come, and they're gonna see the outline of this trap. I don't know if you can move this back 1 hex or anything like that, but that'll be an issue for you, kind of. Like, it'll be a slight issue. Another thing I'm noticing right here is that you have this pull, and it's not going to kill heroes. I mean, Jimbo is pretty buff, and he does good damage, but a lot of the time people are going to be able to potion out of this. It's a Scorpio and a Jimbo. I mean, that's kind of the same as a boss room. And it's not quite enough to kill the hero on the end part of this. You could think about switching it out for Stairmasters if, you know, there's a certain trade-off if you're going to be using an elite on the end of a springboard trap, if you're going to be using a Stairmaster setup. Basically, the elite is going to tank better and going to be better by itself if the pull doesn't work. And then the Stairmasters are going to die a lot quicker, but they're going to basically kill the hero anytime the pull happens. So it's kind of a trade-off you have to make in your head. You had the same basic setup here where you wanted the bodyguard to work. I think this one's a little less effective, and I think you should pull this back a bit so that, basically so that he doesn't just get focused down like I did right there, right? On the same level as your castle, so, you know, people are going to have similar gear. I might have slightly better DPS than average, by maybe 50 or 75 for a knight. This guy doesn't have nearly as good of gear as my archer does. I mean, he has decent gear. I'm not going to say he doesn't, because I basically was farming with him to get both my warrior and archer gear at level 19 or whatever. I basically used him as a farm character. Alright, so this is good. The only thing that I would say is that your aggro zone, I feel like you would probably want this Snotter that's leading these two guys to be farther back in the hallway so that I'm not even sure exactly where he was, to be honest, but you basically want me to be in the hallway and get stunned. I think I actually Lashing Flames the Cyclops, so that made it so that the stun didn't go off. So that's kind of unfortunate for you, but I think that that's set up like reasonably well. Alright, this feels like possibly a pull, but we'll see. Yeah, okay, so we have a Scorpio with an archer. The archer's okay. I have to see what kind of is on the end of it. I'm guessing I'm going to see a springboard trap, but we'll see. Yep, there it is. Alright, so yeah, this is a pretty good position for this. The archer adds a little bit of DPS. What do you have beyond that? So the same thing here is you probably can live through this. Like, it's a little bit harder, I guess, with a Pete Poundmore, because Pete Poundmore is a bit better than Jimbo for just sustained DPS overall. But if they have enough armor and DPS to get through these two elites, then they're probably going to live through it. It's kind of the same thing. It's going to be harder to deal with if you miss the hook overall like you did here. It's going to be harder for me to deal with just like a Pete Poundmore standing here rather than like a couple Stairmasters. But I would say probably one of those of the two should be Stairmasters, just because it's just like an instant kill zone. Although, maybe if there still is a potion nerf, and if there's not, then, I mean, help us all, but, maybe if there's still a potion nerf, that this would be better. Because you won't need to instantly kill heroes, necessarily. It'll still be a tactic, but... And then the 3 Scorpio boss room to finish it out I think is fine as well. Good placement on the silence trap. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, pretty good castle overall. Alright, so we will jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have Stonewing Castle level 23. So we'll jump into it here. Alright, fake Snotter. This is going to be a pull. I don't know why I knew that, I just did. It was a small choke and it just screamed pull to me, I don't know why. The vamp is kind of weird, but I don't mind it because, I mean, the whole purpose of this room is to get this pull off. We'll see where this pull leads to. This is weird to me. So, you have a skippable mob group. I'm trying to think, and, like, the main thing that I'm wondering here is what is this purpose of this being here instead of the way that your castle goes? Like, the only purpose that I can see this being over here instead is... I'm actually still trying to think of one. I don't really see the purpose of, okay, yeah, if I get pulled by this, I die to this. But, like, wouldn't it make more sense to have it so that either your castle is going down towards this way, or the mob groups are up here and you get thrown up to this point and then you get killed here. Because then I have to drop at least one volley. Like, yeah, this group is going to be easy if I don't get pulled by this. It's not the biggest deal in the world, honestly. Like, I usually make a huge deal about skippable mob groups. This isn't the biggest deal in the world. It's gonna save about 15 seconds for a good archer. They'll just drop a volley here and everything's gonna die, even if it's on the way to where you're going. Right? That's about how much time it's going to take, that small amount of volley time. But it's still free time that you're going to be able to get in your castle. Like, there's no reason not to have it there, in my opinion. Alright, I see the Zeke because your castle is going upwards. So there's that. I mean, you can change it around, or you can just not really care about it because it's not going to be an issue in a couple weeks. I'm going to stop harping on vision pretty much until the patch comes out, because, I mean, since it's going to be changed, there's no reason to have you guys freaking out about your castle defenses and changing things that aren't really going to matter. I think that either way, there's going to be some things that are going to happen after the patch that are more ideal than having like a straight upwards castle. I think that a straight upwards castle is still going to be weaker than certain other things that you can do. The problem is, it's not really going to matter. The things that you can do to make it slightly harder are going to have such a low impact that it won't matter that much, that I probably won't even mention it in a lot of my videos. I might mention it in my own defense guides of why I do certain things, but I'm not going to harp on people for vision probably at all after the update. Unless there's some other changes, which I'll get into. I'm going to make a kind of feedback thing. Alright, so I pulled both groups. I don't think that's too big of a deal for me. Well, it was a mutton. I do like that the second group is a mutton, the first group is a Scorpio. The first group being a Scorpio means that, you know, you have the opportunity of pulling me. Actually, was it Scorpio or Hungerbot? Did I just kill the Scorpio in one volley? That's weird. I guess I did. I guess that must be still level 20. That might be one of the things you're upgrading. Anyway, what I was saying is I like the Scorpio coming up for the first pull because it can pull you into the second pull. And then I like the second pull being a Mega Mutton because it's quicker. So if I pull both groups on my own or get pulled, the Mutton's going to get there really quickly. So that's why I like that. Alright. Okay, so you have a Defendertron with him. Good time waster group. I like it as the third group in this room because a lot of time people won't pull 3 groups, hardly ever. So I think that's good. All right. A Jimbo and 2 supports. So pretty much I already have my game plan for this. I'm gonna volley it. Hopefully that volley will stay there until the supports get here. Your supports were kind of slow to getting here. A lot of people are gonna have that Jimbo close to dead before the supports arrive. It might be a double-edged sword if somebody doesn't quite have the DPS to like kill Jimbo and you have a medic puppeteer come around the corner. People might get into the mindset, I need to kill the Jimbo because he's already almost dead, and then he might get slowly healed to full, and then that could just add a ton of frustration for the attacker. I've recently changed this. I believe that this actually resembles slightly what the room that I use for my new castle. It's the same room. I have it the same way that you have it here, and I have the same ballista trap set up. I do not have this jelly wall, and I used to have the same creatures, and recently I've changed the Jimbo to having a Defendertron, and I've figured out a way to actually keep the Defendertron linked even though Jimbo's faster. I have it just like so far out in front that works, and personally I like Jimbo with a Defendertron. I don't think there's really that many other ways of using him effectively, in my opinion. I just think he dies really quick, and he doesn't really have that same scare factor if he's not alive long enough to get off multiple swings. Like, to have someone like a knight or even an archer or mage trying to DPS down a Defendertron that's standing right next to Jimbo while he's trying to swing at you is actually a lot scarier, in my opinion, than just, you know, dropping Caltrops and killing off the Jimbo, or for a knight, you know, keeping him chain stunned until you kill him. So I think it's a little bit more scary to have a Jimbo that's being Defendertroned. So this one I'm a little confused about, simply because Mega Mutton doesn't do much damage. and I'll let you see it a little bit. He's not really going to do a ton of damage to me or scare me all that much, even when he's enraged like this, until he gets damaged. So I don't like Defendatron's guarding him, because I think it removes his effectiveness. I think if you want to increase his survivability, you add in a healer, because yes, sometimes you're going to heal him to full and he'll stop charging, but that still gives him more time overall to be charging, right? I'm going to have to damage him, then the healer will heal him, and then I'm going to damage him. He's going to start charging. The healer will heal him during the charge, and then if I headshot him again, he'll be ready to charge by the end of it. So, like, you kind of keep him sustained while being damaged at the same time if the person's trying to target down the mutton. That's at least the way that I've seen it. So, a lot of people don't really like healers with Mega Muttons because they think it defeats the purpose as well. But I think, like, Defendatrons make it so they can't even be attacked whatsoever. That Jimbo hurt. It's only level 22. I guess it was only 1,000 damage instead of like 2,200. But yeah, either way, it was a pretty good castle overall. I liked it. So yeah, that's gonna be number 3. So we'll end the video here. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of viewer casts, you can email me at frenzycastleruns. You can comment on my castle or comment on a video, and you know, I'll get to your castle when I have time. You can also create a challenge, leave it to 1 week. Let me know somewhere else that you created the challenge, because I can't check my friends list every day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.